guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I am really excited about, and I say that about every video, but this video I'm like really excited about because this video was a requested video. I think it was actually requested a little while ago and I've wanted to do it for so long, and finally I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it done because I think this video is gonna be beneficial to so many people. I wanted to create a video for you guys that outline the brushes you need to have in your makeup brush collection. This video directly focuses on eye brushes. I will do another video that focuses on face brushes, but I really wanted to give you a lot of detail in terms of which brushes you need in your collection when you're starting like an eye makeup brush collection. There's 5 different categories, and in each category I'll give you dupes so that you can see that there's different brands that carry these brushes and you don't need to focus on just one brand. Let's start off with the pencil brush. The pencil brush looks like this right here. It's basically a brush that is very firm and dense, and it comes into a little point. As you can see, because the bristles are so small to the brush, it makes it very dense. The shape of the brush makes it really great for precise application. So one thing that I love to do with the brush is I'll use a pencil brush to really get into the inner corner of my eye. I'll use it to highlight. So say I want to go in with like a shimmer shadow, I'll use it right in the inner corner of my eye, and because it's so small, it's perfect for precision. I also use the pencil brush to kind of carve out if I'm using dark intense colors on the eyes. So say that I wanted to do a halo eye, which you guys have seen me use many times. I'll take the pencil brush and I'll put it in the inner corner and the outer corner, and then I'll just connect it in the crease. And basically what that's doing, it's giving me the precision that I want without getting the product everywhere all over my eye. Because obviously when you're doing a halo eye, you want it in a specific section. The other great thing that a pencil brush is great for, and this is probably the thing that it's most known for, is to put color on the lower lash line and to smoke it out. So say you're doing a smoky eye and you wanted to get color on the lower lash line, you would go in with a pencil brush. The reason why you wouldn't use a blending brush for any of these stages is not that you can't, you can totally use whatever brush you wanted to, but because with all of these applications you're looking for a precise application, you want to go in with brushes like this that's going to give you more control. If you went in with a brush like, for example, like this is the Sigma E40 and it's a tapered blending brush, it's just going to put the product everywhere and it's not going to give you the look that you want. So pencil brushes are all about precision. So those are the 3 main things that I use my pencil brushes for, and honestly I use them so much. I definitely think this is a category that you need at least one brush in. So this brush is mint brush number 24. I also have the Sigma E30 brush, and then I have this e.l.f. brush, and this is just the eye crease brush. And although it's called a crease brush, I use it as a pencil brush, and it's basically the same thing. They're saying it's a crease brush because you can put it in your crease and then blend it out with a blending brush. So these are 3 different options. They range from really affordable, and then these are, you know, like somewhat affordable, but definitely all of them work the same. I love all of them. The only difference between the Sigma brush compared to the other 2 is that it's a bit longer and it's not as dense. So I find this one is great for the lower lash line more because I feel like it's easier to blend in that area without tugging on the bottom lashes, whereas these ones I like because they're great for applying product because they're so firm, it doesn't move when I'm placing it on the eye. The next category I wanted to talk to you guys about was blending brushes. Now blending brushes is basically like a category on its own, honestly. There are so many different types of blending brushes, but I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite blending brushes, and I wanted to show you dupes for each one. So first let's start off with the Sigma E40, which I absolutely love. I really love this brush. So when I first got it and I was first doing makeup, I was like, what the heck is this for? And I really didn't understand the concept of this brush, but I'm telling you, I basically use this brush every tutorial or every time I'm doing my makeup. If it's clean, usually it's dirty, so I'm always like, crap. But basically what you do is you place this in your crease, and this is a great brush to use as blending in your transition color or your neutral color above the crease and into the crease. So I love using this brush as my first brush that I'm using in terms of any eyeshadow look, and I'll go in right in the outer corner of my eye and I'll start to work the transition color back and forth, and I'll blend it out and I'll just diffuse it. So it gives this really beautiful smoky effect without having to do so much work. Because the brush itself is already so big and so fluffy, all you're doing is literally going back and forth and kind of in circle motions and it's just going and doing the work for you. And this is a great brush to have as like a foundation brush for any eye look that you're gonna do. It gets rid of any harsh lines. And then once you're done the look as well, you can go back in with this brush and blend everything out. Sometimes when this brush is dirty, I will go in with Mint Brush number 20 or sometimes the Sonia Kashuk blending brush as well. But I really feel like for the duty of like blending out and just putting it as a foundation color, this is definitely my favorite brush, and this is the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. Now in terms of other blending brushes, I'm going to show you these three, which are very similar. So this is the Morphe M441, this is Mint Brush number 20, and this is the Sonia Kashuk blending brush. Basically all of these brushes are just your everyday standard blending brush. So this is also great for doing what the E40 did, so you can put it down and you can use this to blend out your transition color. I also like to use it right in the inner crease because the E40 is so big in comparison. So as you can see, like just look at these two. This one is so much more blown out. I feel like this is good for blending all the colors together, whereas these three are really good for getting into your crease and blending out those harsh edges in the crease. Just say I'm going in with soft brown on the transition color, and then I'm going in with maybe like a darker brown but not a black. I would take that darker brown and I would put it on one of these brushes and I would blend it right into the crease of my eye so that it's still blended, but it's still in that area that I want it to be. I hope you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying. So this one is really great for kind of getting everything blended, whereas sometimes you want color to stay in a specific area, but obviously you don't want it to look too harsh and you want it to be blended. And this is when you would use those. So you would just go into your outer corner and you would go in right there and blend everything out. So I really feel like you definitely need these brushes. If I had to recommend any blending brush to get first, it would definitely be one of these three. And then the next blending brush section that I wanted to talk to you about was these two right here. So this is the Sephora Pro Precision Crease number 17 brush, and this is the Morphe M412. So I wanted to show you these brushes. I feel like these aren't as important as the ones I just showed you, but definitely these are brushes that if you are gonna build your eye makeup kit, you would want to get. So the great thing about these brushes, and the reason I wanted to point them out, is that they're tapered. So as you can see, they're a lot smaller and they taper. So these ones over here. This is a great brush to use if you are blending a black. So like I mentioned, the first fluffy E40 brush from Sigma, that's for like a really soft color. The second three brushes that I showed you in the blending color is like for like a medium brown. And then this would be like your darkest color. Because with those darkest colors, you don't want the product to go everywhere. You want to be really careful with your application in those dark colors. You definitely want to go in with a brush that's like this. And the reason why I wouldn't go in with just a pencil brush, you might go in with the pencil brush to place the black or the dark brown down in the crease over here. But the reason why you would want a brush like this is to blend it out is because the pencil brush is very dense and it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of tugging for it to blend out around your eye area. Whereas if you went in with a brush like this and you just held it at the end of the brush, you could just go back and forth in that area and it would just blend out so easily. And you can even pick it up with this brush too. You don't need to use the pencil brush. So these are two great options in terms of blending out the outer crease, even if you were in the inner crease over here and you wanted to blend that out if you were doing a halo eye, even if you wanted to smoke out the bottom lash line and you didn't want to use a pencil brush. These are two great options. And then the last type of blending brush that I want to show you guys is these two right here. So this is the Sigma E25 brush and this is the Morphe M433 brush. These brushes, as you can see, are very similar, and basically what they do is they're great for an all-over brush. And what I really mean that is, like, if you had to pick one blending brush, it would be one of these two, honestly, because you can apply shadow with this brush, you can blend with this brush, you can blend up with this brush. It is like the perfect blending brush. It is just an everyday blending brush. This is a brush you can do a whole look with, honestly. I use it a lot when I'm placing color in the outer corners of my eye and I'm trying to blend it in and really get that seamless effect. And they're both very similar. I just recently got the Morphe brush, that's why it looks a little different in shape, but I really love the Sigma E25 as well, and I love the Morphe one. And they're just really great for just blending everything out and giving you that seamless effect. Next category is shadow brushes. Shadow brushes are basically really important because they're like your foundation brush. This is just for you to apply shadow directly to your eyelids, and that's basically what they do. So for me, I have two favorites here. This is Mint Brush number 22, and then I have the eye shading brush, the E55 from Sigma. So basically what you do is you dip your brush into like eyeshadow and then you place it all over your lid, depending on how much of your lid you want to cover. Another great way to use this brush is when I'm trying to highlight my brow bone, I'll use a brush brush like this. And the reason actually that I love Mint Brush number 22, it's one of my favorite brushes to use to highlight underneath the brow bone area, is because it's so fluffy. So as you can see, it's a bit skinnier and more fluffier than the Sigma E55. So the Sigma brush is great for packing on color, especially like really intense dark colors, because it's so much shorter and it has bristles that are a lot dense. And the Mint Brush number 22 is great for blending out shadow, and that's why I love using it underneath my brow bone, applying a highlight color. I just love blending it out. It's literally one of my favorite brushes to use there. But both of them are just really simple. If you didn't have a brush for shadow, you could definitely use your finger as well. So that's an option as well, if just say you wanted to wait on the shadow brushes. But this is definitely a brush that I would say is like a foundation brush. I want to show you another option. This is from Sonia Kashuk of a shadow brush. This one is a lot thinner and it's still fluffy, but not as fluffy as the Mint Brush number 22. So this is just another skinnier, smaller, thinner option of a shadow brush. Next category I wanted to talk to you guys about was synthetic brushes. Now, as you can see, the brushes that I showed you here, the shadow brushes, they're all natural hair brushes. I love using these for matte shadows because I feel like they apply really easily. They pick up the product really well. And depending on some shimmer shadows, I like using this as well. Now, the thing is with shimmer shadows especially is I feel like for shimmer shadows, or if you're using a gel, or if you're using like an eyeliner base and just say you don't want to use your finger, you definitely need a synthetic brush. Synthetic brushes are so great because even if you're applying glitter, this is a brush you would want to use. Because it's synthetic, it works better when you're using like creams or gels or glitters or any type of base. And even with like shimmer shadows, I love using synthetic brushes because I feel like it really picks up the color a lot better and it just applies so precisely. Both of these brushes are actually concealer brushes, but I love using them for my eyes. This is Mint Brush number 12 and this is the F70 from Sigma. And basically what I do is I'll pick up some glitter or I'll pick up a base or anything like that and I'll just place it right on my eyelid, and I just love using these for my eye area. And I feel like if you are someone who uses any type of base or creamy consistency product that's not like a shadow on around your eye area, you definitely want to use a synthetic brush. You're gonna get the best color payoff. And also when you're wetting a shadow brush, like a natural hair brush, it's not gonna give you the same effect. So say you wanted to wet a pigment or you wanted to wet a shadow with some Fix Plus or with some water, you would definitely need a synthetic brush because it's going to pick up the product and intensify the product a lot more. Whereas the natural hair brush, you're not supposed to use it wet, so it's not gonna look as good. And the last category of brushes that I think you guys definitely need for a beginner kit is obviously, guys, I'm sure you can guess it, eyeliner. So these are two of my favorite eyeliner brushes. This is the Sigma E05 and this is Mint Brush number 26. You guys have seen me use these brushes so many times. Eyeliner is just one of those things that even like everyone wears eyeliner. Little girls to older women wear eyeliner. And I feel like eyeliner is also one of those things that when you're starting to get out in makeup, like your parents, that's one of the first things they let you wear, like even before like shadow or glitter or anything like that. Eyeliner and mascara seems to be the most typical in terms of letting your kids wear makeup first. So especially if you're new to makeup and you're thinking, okay, well, what brush should I get first? Definitely an eyeliner brush, because eyeliner, it just looks good on everyone. Nobody can go wrong with it. Even if you don't wear shadow, you probably wear eyeliner. So definitely these two brushes are awesome. They're two very different brushes, and that's why I wanted to show you guys what they look like. So this one is more of like a pointed brush. It kind of looks like a paintbrush, to be honestly. This also reminds me a lot of the Tarte eyeliner brush that I love, that I use with the Tarte gel eyeliner. Very similar to that, and that's why I didn't show you that brush, because it's just exactly like a paintbrush, except that one is bent and this one is straight. And then this one right here is an angle eyeliner brush, which is very common. You guys will see this a lot from a lot of different brands, and this will just help you get into like that wing. So say you were doing a wing, this might be easier to do for a wing, and this might be easier for you to just do when you're carving out your eye for eyeliner. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it was really informative. I just wanted to break it down into the 5 different categories of pencil brush, blending brush, shadow brush, synthetic brush, and an eyeliner brush. And I really think that if you guys even get one of each brush just to have a kit, those 5 brushes that you'll have will help you get through any look. Honestly, that's all you need. And then from there you can start to, you know, build up your kit. I definitely think that the more blending brushes and the different types of blending brushes you have, the better. So if you were going to focus on one category to really build up after you get your 5 initial brushes, definitely the blending brush category would be the category I would say to focus on the most. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys got a lot out of it. If there's any questions you have or anything that you want me to know, or any any other video that you want to see, please leave it in the comment section down below. And if you know anyone who is getting into makeup or who's wondering what type of brushes to get or what they might need to really build up their kit, maybe send them this video and that could be really helpful for them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Don't ever forget you are so beautiful. Bye guys!